Did they rock what the Brazil gained? Did they rewriting the Great Arab Revolt missing history? I react to this and this year to check this. So let's watch and let's see. Okay, let's watch it.
In the 20th century, the Arabian Peninsula was a land of vast deserts and rich tribes, each with its own customs and traditions. Yet, amidst the shifting sands and rugged landscapes, at one of the most significant uprisings of the 20th century, the Great Arab Revolt. By 1916, the Ottoman Empire, which had controlled much of the Middle East for centuries, was weakened by World War I. The empire's harsh rule and heavy taxation had sown discontent among the Arabs. The time was ripe for change, and a movement was brewing under the leadership of Sharif Hussein bin Ali, the Sharif of Mecca. In June 1916, Sharif Hussein declared the Arab revolt against the Ottoman Empire. He sought to unite the Arab tribes and create a single independent Arab state, stretching from Aleppo in Syria to Aden in Yemen, with promises of support and arms from the British, who saw the banner of revolt in the holy city of Mecca. Among the most notable figures in the revolt was Thomas Edward Lawrence, better known as Lawrence of Arabia, a British officer with a deep understanding of Arab culture and language. Lawrence played a crucial role in advising and leading the Arab forces. Alongside him was Prince Faisal, Hussein's son, a charismatic leader who would later become King of Iraq. The first campaign of the Arab revolt was the Siege of Medina. Prince Faisal took his Arab volunteers and headed towards the holy city. After arriving on October 19, 1916, the city remained under siege until June of 1919. Even when the Arabs would attack the only railway that supplied Medina, some supplies would make it there by smuggling. Faraddin Pasha defended Medina even after the surrender and annihilation of the Ottoman Empire, until the city was taken with force by Prince Abdullah I.
That's not true. That's not true. The Arabs failed to capture Medina. The Arabs failed to capture Medina. That's not true. That's not true. The Arabs didn't take Medina. They failed.
In 1919, an entire year after the surrender of the Ottomans. After that, they moved on to the coastal city of Ujin, that would later be used as a base for attacks on the Hijaz Railway, the most important lifeline of the Ottoman forces in the south. After Lawrence had three Arab fighters on while he advanced north to the port city of Aqaba, heavily defended the city with 1,200-man garrison. While the Arabs were preparing their weapons for the battle, Lawrence realized a large flaw in the defenses of the city, where the southern side of the city was heavily defended. The northeast side was loosely defended, so Lawrence's plan was to hit the southern side with a diversionary attack, and then Prince Faisal, so Lawrence himself could take the main force around and attack from the north. This plan worked. They overwhelmed the Ottomans and took the city on July 6, 1917. After this battle, the Arabs advancing north from Aqaba had already reunited with the British forces coming from Egypt and Paris, so they all began to head north until they reached Amman. Amman was much more difficult than Aqaba. The garrison was much stronger this time, with 5,500 Ottoman troops defending it. There was no way that the untrained veterans of Mecca could take the city filled with trained troops and artillery. So on 27th March 1918, Prince Faisal, Lawrence of Arabia, and Field Marshal Chatwood met up and were given oversight of the invading force under their command, Major General John Shea. So two light horse regiments moved north to block the Ottomans' retreat on March 29th. Soon after dawn, German and Ottoman artillery began shelling the entrenched dismounted troops, British infantry, and Arab formation. German and Ottoman forces made several counterattacks, all of which were held and ultimately repulsed, including one on the north flank. During the 29th of March, units of Shea's force west of Amman were bombed by 13 German aircraft. During the raid, 39 casualties were suffered by troops and the Egyptian Camel Transport Corps personnel. After many British attacks had failed, Major General Chaytor, an Anzac commander, commanded a swift night attack. So on 2 a.m. on March 30th, 5,000 men raided Amman, destroying Ottoman officers and artillery positions, taking 1,300 prisoners, and the rest either deserted or were killed. The capture of Amman boosted troop morale and gave them the courage to push on. The last objective for the revolt was the city of Damascus. But before that, they had to push on through Irbil, Armanza, and Daran. last line of defense for the retreating forces heading to Damascus, which was formed by the Ottomans, which were now under the command of German Marshal Lehman von Sanders and General Murat Bey. The Allied forces pushed north into the cities of Irbid and Marienburg, where the Ottomans fought a rear-guard position, so the 145th Regiment, commanded by Lieutenant Colonel Führer von Hammerstein-Gesman, had arrived at Erlenbach the day before the attack. This regiment, together with the 3rd Cavalry Division and 63rd Regiment, made up the 4th Army Troops. On September 25, 1918, British, Anzac, and Arab forces under Lord Faisal attacked, but all attempts were repelled by the 4th Army. Even though the Ottomans were making good progress in holding off the Allies, Lehman von Sanders decided retreating and holding Damascus was a better choice. Ahead of Lawrence and Faisal, Australian aircraft command Turkey arrived on the 27th of September, and the railway station was seen to be filled with hundreds of rolling columns of heating tubes and transport, which was also seen on the roads heading north towards Damascus. While the Allies were advancing north, Ottoman troops were retreating, using the road leading to Aleppo. On 30th of September, Damascus was fully encircled, and on October 1st, the garrison of Damascus surrendered. And on October 30th, the Ottoman Empire surrendered, and the war came to an end. The United Kingdom agreed in the Markovan-Hussein Correspondence that it would support Arab independence if they revolted against the Ottoman Empire. However, the United Kingdom and France went back on their original deal and divided up the area under the 1916 Sykes-Picot Agreement in ways that were unfavorable to the Arabs. Further confusing the issue was the Balfour Declaration of 1917, which promised support for a Jewish national nation in Palestine. This series of events is a betrayal of the Arabs by the British, who very clearly lied to them. After the Sykes-Picot Agreement, all of the Hijaz princes went to live in one of the British protectorates. Prince Abdullah went to Jordan. Prince Faisal went to become Prince of Syria in 1920, but left French occupation the next year and became the King of Iraq. In conclusion, the Arab people were misled and manipulated by false promises and deceptive tactics into supporting the British military during World War I, believing they were fighting for their own independence. They unknowingly contributed to the downfall of the Ottoman Empire, only to find that their aspirations for sovereignty were betrayed by the very powers that they had resisted.
Thanks for watching.